Hello, this is our Vagabonds of Dyfed Tales of the Middarmark series, first session. And today I am joined by Rich, who is playing.
I am playing. What was his name again?
Hagen, I think it was.
Yes, that's right. Hagen is kind of the ranger type. He was a nomadic hunter and a boundary warden, so like a border guard kind of frontiersman type. And yeah, he's good in the outdoors. That's about it.
And a Pathfinder, right?
Pathfinder, yes.
Yeah, which is always a good thing to have on a hex crawl. All right, and Lauren, who are you playing?
I'm playing such a disaster. I am playing Rosamunda. She is a devoted friend of Adelaide, who we're accompanying on this journey.
Mm-hmm.
Her look is I've written buff, lithe teeth, messy mahogany hair and furs. So she's rather feral. As her totem is a wolf, meaning she's got a keen nose. She's very into hunting, playing, and running. She's very direct. And I think one of the most interesting things about her is she can see smells. So I'm gonna have fun with that.
Yes.
And I think her background is very I was envisioning sort of very scrappy orphan, had to look out for herself a lot growing up. And I think she probably Adelaide's probably became fast friends with her and helped her out of that bad situation. So she feels very indebted towards Adelaide for
that makes sense.
Her out in that capacity.
Yeah, because Adelaide is a little bit of an outsider, but not as outsider as you, I think.
Yeah, totally. She's very well ingratiated into the society compared to me, probably.
Yeah.
She's also very overconfident and cuts it out of her challenge, and is just very physical. So I'm expecting her to die quite quickly.
Well, may the gods go with you.
Thank you.
All right, so Gary, who are you playing here?
I am playing Ulf, who is a skald. He tends to be a big flirt, and probably met Adelaide's that way. Being a bit of a man about the court and a flirt with her.
Mm-hmm.
He is of the ox totem. Tends to want to just go with the flow and keep things calm, but has very little self-control, and can get himself in trouble that way.
So is this a sort of wandering into bad situations sort of thing?
Yeah, he tends to not think things through too much before he gets in trouble.
All right. Okay. And finally, Ari, who are you playing?
I'm playing Gavu, one of the Lap people. He is a nomadic mage who draws power from animals, especially salmon and bears. He spent a significant number of his years, especially his youth, amongst the elves, learning their ways. His approach is simmering patience and boiling affront. So most of the time, he's a pretty calm, collected character. But if his temper is tested or if his friends are challenged, he tends to go to their defense. However, there is a bit of a dichotomy there. He believes that the elves have more to teach him than his own kin, and he tends to be a little bit close-minded as far as he cares for animals and elves more than he does for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Nice.
He's very old, so he's like a haggard old man with a crooked back. leaning on
Yeah.
his old gnarled staff, his threadbare cloak flapping behind him.
Spent too much time studying with the elves. Forgot about the world of
Yes.
men.
The everyday life.
Yeah. All right. Great. Cool. So yeah, those are our characters, and the situation that we are in. I have written up briefly. So it is that Otkull, war chief of the Got host, conqueror of Vanskredal, lord of Hrossgard and the Gottmark, has ruled for 20 years with wisdom and strength. He has found a new home for the Gots in the Middarmark, and none would doubt his right to rule. Yet after long years, the war chief has grown aged and is without an heir. His son Othmar and daughter Oda were slain in heroic battle against the Bjornings, and he has had no children since that grim day. Among the Got, there has been much agitation, as each seeks to prove themselves worthy to take up Otkull's title and lead the host to war. Among that number is Adelace, daughter of the disgraced grave Notker, who has made a great boast in the halls of Hrossgard that she will travel to Sigrun's mirror, deep in the mist-shrouded Saki Downs, and there receive from Sigrun Shieldbreaker, Lady of Battles, a mark of her right to rule. The fog of drink and the din of last night's boasting has passed, and you, Adelace's sworn companion, set out with your sister on a quest south to the lands of the Bjornings and to Sigrun's mirror, known only to you in song and tale. So this, if we go over and look at the map, unfortunately for those of you who are watching, you can't see the map, which is really very sad in a hex crawl. Try to convey what's going on. We are up here in the north. This part of the Middarmark is called Vanskredal. Easy to pronounce, no problems. There are. And to our south is another province of the Middarmark, which is it is called. See if I can find it here. Yes, Vargstrand. So when we cross the river to the south, we will cross into Vargstrand. So we will no longer be in the lands of your people, the Gots, and we'll enter into the lands of the Bjornings, who are the people that you conquered in order to take this land. They are fairly close relatives of your people, but they came first to Middarmark and conquered the whole place long time ago. And the goddess that you seek is Sigrun Shieldbreaker. She was the High Queen of Middarmark and was killed in a huge battle with the Saki, who were the people who lived here before and were defeated by the Bjornings. She ascended. She became a goddess because she was such a great warrior, and she became the Lady of Battles. She became the goddess of war. So she is in a way, a foreign goddess to your people, but still respected by them. And you are going to get her boon. You are on this crazy journey through the lands of your enemies, because as you were saying there, Rich, you're border guard, and definitely the border between the Gots and the Bjornings is heavily contested. So it is once you enter into the lands of the Bjornings, you may not be given the most welcome reception. These are the things you would know. So being diplomatic in some situations would probably be to your advantage. So I think that we start out and we see it is dawn. There is a mist that is being burned away by the sun, but still low in the ground. We can hear the call of a cock crying out, and we see a scene which is a fortress, very primitive fortress with a lot of sort of buildings with wooden wall or stone walls and thatched roofs. and a wooden palisade around it. And the interior is just bare dirt on the ground. There's a shot that pans across that scene, and then we get a closer look, and there is a woman with long braided hair, looking rather haggard. She wakes up, she coughs. There's dew on her face. She's obviously spent the night out in the courtyard, and groans, stands up, and then runs behind a building, and we hear her vomit. And she calls out. She says, "Rosa! Rosa, where are you?"
Do you need someone to hold your hair, ma'am?
It couldn't hurt.
Perhaps some hair of the dog that bit you, or
Yes,
bullshit.
yes, yes. Bring me some mead.
of course. Enough for
she-
two. I
Yeah,
feel like Rose is probably also feeling quite haggard.
Yeah,
If you can
yeah.
hold
Like
it
the
there.
two of you are both like looking pretty rough. Like,
So yeah, she'll definitely grab some mead and like thrust that into her hand.
yeah,
Like, get
so
that down
she
you.
drinks out of your horn or something, and spits on the ground, and says, "Oh, by all the immortals, I can scarcely remember what happened last night, but didn't I say something about going south?"
Yes, I think you did rather.
Oh,
But
I didn't make a boast, did I?
of course you did. Of course
Oh,
you did. That's what you like when you get drunk.
right.
It was an amazing burst. I cannot wait to be by your side as we venture forward to see this boast through.
And she says, it was that Scald's tales that they got into my head, and I just couldn't forget them, and I'm sick of being nobody around here, Rosa, and I think you understand as well.
Of course.
We've got to make a name for ourselves. We've got to strike out. We've got to put our name in the stories.
Indeed, we must rise to the challenge and
Yes.
show everyone that we are warriors of consequence.
Yes, warriors of consequence and great adventurers, leaders of men, war chiefs, horse lords, and so on. Vomits in the corner again.
And donkey lords.
Yes.
And I think Rosa like rubs her back and it's like, oh.
This is Adelaide, right?
Yes.
This is Adelaide?
This is Adelaide. And I think she says, now where is that Scald? Where did he get to? And you want to introduce your character here, Gary?
Ulf comes out of the hall. He slept in the hall, probably.
Deep sleep, no problems.
And Scalds, get honor places. So he comes wandering out. He's a little rough, but very used to this sort of thing, since he does it a lot. And he stretches and looks around and just looks to see where Adelaide has gotten herself off to.
Yeah, so I think she stumbles around the corner at the sound of your footsteps on the precipice, and walks over to you and puts her hands on your shoulders, and her breath smells absolutely terrible. And she's licking in your face, and she says, "Scald, you must join me. We have a great quest, and it will make a story that you will not soon forget."
Well, I would appreciate the opportunity to travel with you, milady.
Oh, yes. Very good. Very good.
I'll
I will
tell the
need
story of
all
your
of your knowledge, all of your knowledge and skill to go and speak with Sigrun far to the south.
I'm happy to accompany you. We'll do our best.
Yes, well, we certainly will. Our best and more. Rise to the heroic occasion. That's what you say, right? That's what heroes do. And I think she says, now let us make preparations for our journey. The day is young, and we should be ready to travel.
Yes, I would think finding a pathfinder to come with us might be a good idea.
Oh yes, my cousin, that irritating little shit. He's always out of town and ranging down to the south, but he does know his way around these places, and maybe I can. Why don't you go talk to him? He might listen to you. You're a respectable sort. You're not like me. I'll just be here and preparing and getting ready, getting my bearings, getting my wits about me, and then I think she stumbles off around the corner, and you hear her vomit again. So, Rich, do you want to introduce your character here?
Okay, so yeah, hey, Hagen was partaking last night as well. He's a bit of a hedonist himself.
Yes.
So he gathers his things and he's probably sneaks out of some place he's not supposed to be, and
sleeping in a nicer hall than he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you spot. Maybe Ulf. You see him in the courtyard there. You can go over and have a chat.
I'll wander over to Hagen and say.
He's kind of looking over his shoulders as he saddles his horse.
Do you know the lands to the south, by chance?
How far to the south do you mean to go?
Quite some distance with Adelaise.
Oh, is she gonna follow through on that?
And then she like comes around the corner and she's like, "Of course, I will be as good as my word. I boasted in the halls last night, but I meant what I said. With the gods as my witness, I will be the war chief of the Goths." Like brandishing the drinking horn that she has.
Hagen puts his hand in his face in his hand, kind of like, oh crap, and very well, cousin. Then I'm with you.
Good. A journey for the stories.
Yes, for the stories, for yours and for those years to come. And so, Ari, what do you think you're doing on this morning? What do you think that Gavgu is doing?
Gavgu has been asleep in the saddle on his donkey the entire night, pacing the courtyard.
Okay.
And just
like
then,
is this like a face down kind of arrangement, or how are you sleeping on that saddle?
Yeah, he's on the saddle and he's kind of like leaned forward and resting on the nape of the neck of the donkey with his hands around it, just completely asleep. And you see the donkey come around the corner with him basically comatose. But the donkey seems to know where to go. And
right.
It steps in line with all of you. Do you waken me, or do you just kind of let me do my thing?
Yeah, I think Adelaide would look like come and like peer over at you and be like, "Oh, the foreigner," and like
Yeah.
looks over at the donkey, and then like the donkey like sort of like tries to like bite her, like snaps at her, and she's like, "Ah." Uh,
Yeah, and maybe the donkey brays, and then
yeah.
and then I wake up and my first response is to kind of give him a gentle slap. Science! Why have you awakened me, you impudent stripling? And he gives him a pinch on the ear, and he looks at the rest of you and he says, "All right, I'm ready. Adelaide, you say the day is short, but my life is shorter. Or did you say the day is long? I didn't quite catch it."
No matter, respected elder. You may join us.
That's good.
We are simply making preparations for the journey ahead.
I've spent
Yes.
far too many years wasted with the elves. I intend to spend what little remains helping you to achieve your goals.
Oh,
Tell me. Waste your time dreaming of things to do. Do them.
Tell me, good Skinnier. Did she speak to you? Did Sigrun come to you in a dream and tell you of my future greatness and glory?
Yes, of course she did.
Oh, wow.
Why else would I join you?
Rosa, did you hear that? Sigrun is calling us.
Of course she is. You're spectacular, magnificent, and you would make a fine warlord, war chief.
Yes.
I whispered to Rosamunda, I had no such dream, but it'll help motivate her.
She's like looking. Adelaide is looking the other direction, staring nobly into the sun. Yes, dreaming of her future glory. So okay. So why don't we, before we set out, why don't we make a preparation roll to see how our preparations for travel go? So that is. No. Here it is. Preparation. Yes. So, whoever wants to be the quartermaster on this trip, I think you're going to make the preparation roll. So, who wants to elect to be the quartermaster in our group?
I just looking at my character background, I've got the salmon is like a really good sort of source of sustenance. I don't know if that fits.
Actually does make a fair amount of sense. Yeah. So you'd be both the cartographer and the quartermaster in that case.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But if anyone else wants to step up, I'm absolutely okay.
No, that sounds good. It sounds reasonable. That's
all right. So it's time now for Govgu to make a roll. So you're going to be rolling 2d6 plus your aptitude. So let's take a look at your character. Do you think you have anything that would aid you in organizing the supplies for the expedition?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I've got the salmon, my figure.
Yep.
My gimmick smells like salmon when calm, like a bear when infuriated. I don't know. Maybe. Definitely a fishmonger, though.
Well, you were a fishmonger, so I'm feeling like maybe +2. Yeah. Or maybe +3 because you got that herding in your lineage. So maybe you spent a lot of time out in the range.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you make the 2d6 +3 roll, and we'll see how this goes.
Pretty solid bonus there.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh! Knocks it out of the park in the first roll.
What'd you 13. Get? What's that?
13.
Okay, so your group gets 3 prep uses. And so what that does, it is The focused PC rolls an advantage with significant information and resources to draw upon, or disadvantage with little to nothing to aid them in their prep. And basically, you can use it to produce items that you might need on your journey, right? So you have
Can
3
you tell me,
prep.
sorry, can you tell me what page that's on so I can follow along?
Yeah, it is page 80. Page 80. Yes.
I see it now. Okay.
Yeah, so you just mark down in your notes or in your equipment that you have 3 prep.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I think it's pretty much time for you to set off. I think you all mount your horses or donkey, as it were, and you make an early procession. The day has finally broken, and the guards at the front of the palisade sort of make some mocking comments about Adelace, like calling her war chief in sort of sarcastic tones, and she sort of glowers at them and you carry on your way. So
who says that?
What's that?
Who says that?
Oh, the guards.
Okay, I let them know that they'll be my bitches when we return victorious.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they probably make like a sort of like wank off motion in your direction as you leave. Okay, so who wants to be the navigator in this group?
I think I'm the obvious choice.
Yeah, okay. So
is there, what are the roles exactly?
Okay, so for the overland travel, the roles that we have suggested here are scout, surveyor / map maker, rear guard, hidden reaction force, which is somebody that pops in stealthily, or a quartermaster. So I think like we have like a cartographer role, we have a quartermaster role, there'll be a scout, maybe, and then we can kind of figure out the rest. So maybe each of us should just sort of note down what the roles are going to be. So Ari, you have quartermaster and cartographer.
So with pathfinding, is that going to be better for scouting or for navigation? I'm not really...
Well, that's a really good question. So I think that it would really be able to, I feel like that would be best for navigation, is what I would say. Yeah, because that's about finding the trail. Yeah. So you're probably navigator would be maybe your role.
Okay.
And somebody else want to be the scout?
Maybe Lauren?
Yeah, I can totally scout.
Okay, Rosa, you can be the scout.
I believe in Lauren.
And maybe Ulf, what role do you think you have on this journey?
Well, I think rear guard sounds like something that
That sounds reasonable. Yeah, cool. Okay, so our navigator, you are going to choose which hex we move into here. And because you're still in your familiar lands, I'm not going to make you roll to... actually, first thing I should do is roll for the weather. I should definitely do that first. Yeah. What's the weather look like today?
Are we in which hex are we in? Are we in Tarn Tanleth?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
So yeah, that icon there is doesn't really signify anything. It's just the marker for your party. So you can move that. You can move that around.
Kyle, are we supposed to be seeing all the hexes around Tarn Tanleth?
You should be able to see some, but not all of them.
How does Sorry, go ahead.
Like you should be able to see like this peninsula and the river and stuff like that. But that's
okay. My question is about the cartographer that I have. So when we go into the dark areas,
yes,
we'll maintain eyesight on it after we leave that hex. Is that how that works?
That's right. You're not, because so long as you like don't lose your map or screw up your map, then you're going to be able to keep basically the fog of war away from those places.
Perfect.
You'll be able to get back easier.
Got it.
So yes. So as I was saying, these are Gaunt lands. This is part of the Gauntmark. So you don't have to make a roll to navigate here. We're just going to be able to move until we get into the fog of war. But I will make the roll for the weather now. So rolling 3d6. Okay, what do we got? That was 12. Oh, you're very, very lucky. It is a clear and cool day. So
Sweet.
yeah, perfect weather for traveling.
And for hangovers.
Yes, and for hangovers. Hangovers on horseback sounds like actually just the worst thing I could imagine.
Up and down. Up. Oh yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So the deal is, because you are on horseback, it means that you can travel 2 hexes in a day, unless you're on rough terrain. But if you're on clear plains, you can travel just 2 hexes per day. So where are you going to go, Navigator?
I think we're just gonna head south and keep east of those the white things. Are those mountains or something?
They're hills. Hills, yeah.
Hills. Okay, maybe we'll try to keep east of those hills as much as we can.
Okay. Okay. So maybe move down here.
So we'll go to 1009, yeah, and then
to the left or the right? Which one do you want to go to?
To the left.
Okay. All right. So why don't we get the scout? We'll get the scout to make a roll here. So this is going to be for your scouting for the day. So I will say you get one. You're gonna get 1 aptitude just because it's a clear and cool day. So it makes your job a lot easier. You're out on the plains. This is where you're from. So that maybe because you're a Gaut, you get another one. Is there anything else you think would help you with the scouting?
I put down tracker as my foreground. I don't know if that pertains to scouting.
Okay. Yeah, sure. That sounds good. Yeah, so that's so you can roll at a +3 to scout. See how it goes.
Cool. I can do this.
I feel the power.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
6.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Feel the power of 6.
It's the hangover. I'm not feeling that great. Like,
yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. Okay, so I'm gonna get you to roll a d10. Roll a d10 and we'll see what happens here.
I feel like what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like sniff the air and like smell like what the surrounding air is like, but the smells are just so nauseating because I'm incredibly hungover.
Yes.
I got an 8.
Okay. All right. So let's see what we end up with here.
That smell of salmon is really actually turning my stomach.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty foul. Yeah, I smell fresh salmon, but maybe you don't smell fresh salmon.
Oh.
I think it's just the fishiness. Like, I think it's the fishy. It is very fresh salmon. You smell very good, Gavgu, but I had fat salmon last night, and it's just bringing back the worst memories.
Oh yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, that salmon was definitely part of that feast that you arranged there, Gavgu. Yeah. So okay, so you did get pretty lucky in a sense, because you're traveling along the plains, in your procession of mounted on your mounts, and over a small hill emerges a brown bear that's foraging. And I think one of your horses starts at the smell of the bear nearby, and he rears up, and the procession stops, and the bear is over to your flank. So what do you do?
Ew.
Because I think that Rosa, you would be out ahead because you screwed up your scouting, right? Like, you have to circle back to the group.
Yeah, no, I think she probably would like call it out for Gavgu because like animals are his domain. And yeah. Is someone trying to talk?
I think you're muted there, Ari.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I just come forward on my mule.
Yeah.
And I say, "Wow, looks like we have a visitor.
Okay.
Let me handle this." And I dismount and you know, because I don't want to startle the bear with the mule, and that may not go well. So I leave the mule behind with Rosamunda.
Mm-hmm.
How far is the bear from here? It's just off to the side.
Pretty close because it just came over this rise and surprised you, and it's a little bit surprised too. It's just out foraging.
Yeah, so I approach it, and I'm leaning on my gnarled staff, and I kind of look it up and down, and I say, "Well, little friend, what are you doing here?"
And the bear looks up and says, "Oh, it has been a long time since a human spoke to me."
As a gift of the elves.
Elves? Oh. Yes, well, I've never seen an elf in my life, but sometimes my grandfather would speak about them.
Is this, oh, please continue.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just out for a stroll, eating, and then all of you happened to cross me, and I was very startled. But I'm glad that you can speak to me. Where are you going?
Accompanying this young maiden on her journey to become a hero. And I point back at Adelaide.
Yeah, it is. Like...
He says, but that's probably of little concern to you. You're probably thinking of your belly right now.
Yes, that's why I'm out here. It's hard to find something worth eating in the grasslands, but...
I'll tell you what. What is your name?
Oh, my name. And then like lets out a bear growl sound. Like,
and I return the growl version of Gavgu.
Yeah.
And I tell him, listen, friend, you accompany us for a few leagues and I'll make sure your tummy is full. What do you say?
Oh, want me to travel with you? For food? Well,
only to the borders of your territory.
I am warning you that I do eat a lot.
As well, we'll see to that.
Oh, very well. Maybe you should tell your human friends that.
I nod. I look back. Oh, they don't know what we're dealing with here. They're just a bunch of people. You're kind of more to offer me than they do.
Be that as it may, I don't want them to kill me in my sleep or something. Just please talk to them. Humans are unpredictable.
Yeah, is this a young bear or an older bear?
Like, I think it's like a middle-aged bear.
Okay, so I'm not gonna like tell him he's a youngster. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah. So I let everyone know, and I say, spares protection in exchange for food. Do we have any hunters in the group?
Yeah, we do.
So what I'm thinking is we bring the bear along. We might get some extra protection, like for the rear guard role. That's kind of like my thinking behind it. And then at the end of the bear's service, however long it decides to stay, we do like a hunting type role to see if we can get like fresh game for it.
Yep.
If not, then we can, give away some more rations.
You'll be eating through your rations every day, and then you can hunt to see if you can restore those rations, right?
Yeah. But I don't want to decide that. Even though my character would, I want to be cool with the group. Yeah. So are you guys cool with the plan? You guys like the idea? Okay.
Hunting is Rose's middle name. So as soon as you're like, oh, we will hunt to feed
Cool.
the bear, Rose is like, yes, I am all about hunting.
What about Ulf and Hagen? How do they feel about this?
The protection of the bear being with us, that sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me if you can control it.
I'll see what I can do.
So okay, so we can carry on our way here, and I think one of you can note down that you have the bear in your company.
Maybe. Do you want to take that since you're the rear guard, or should I do it because I can speak to it? What makes more sense?
Probably with you, since you can communicate with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So I think because this is like a very short-term arrangement, I'm not going to get you to like write up a full NPC to go with you. You can just note it down your equipment that like, oh, you have a bear.
If this game were more Gonzo, I would try to write it, but of course that's not.
Yeah, no, it's just it maybe slows you down a little bit because like bears can be really fast, but they're not long distance runners.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
only to chase something down.
Yeah. So I think that you can make your way into the next hex, but I'm going to get the navigator to make a roll here to see how that goes. It's probably the midday, so that's going to give you a little bit of a bonus. It's a clear day, right? What else do you think you have that will help you on your roll here?
Let's see. Well, nomadic hunter certainly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's another point.
I don't know. Would he get for being the what do you call it? The Pathfinder? Does that give him roll for that or not?
I think in this case it's not because this isn't difficult terrain. This is open terrain. So you probably get the +2, and then I'll say maybe you get another +1 just because you got the bear with you and they kind of know the territory. So yeah, why don't you roll it a +3 again?
Okay.
2d6 +3.
Let's see.
Okay, a 7. All right, so
Skin on my teeth.
not too bad, not too bad. There's a problem, but the focus PC can see it coming, warn the party, or affect its onset. Okay, so I think that what actually ends up happening is, so first of all, which hex do you want to move into? Do you want to go down and to the left, down to the right? Which one?
Down to the left.
Down to the left. Okay.
I can't see where the hills go, so I don't know. I guess I want to. I don't want to go into the hills unless I have to.
Okay. Yeah. So I think what happens is that you kind of end up losing your bearings a little bit as you travel through the day. There's no roads or anything along here. It's just open prairie, right? And as you get closer to the sea, you can smell the sea in the distance, and you realize your mistake, and you can kind of choose at this point to either stay in the hex you're in, or you can continue on to the hex that is down and to the right.
Okay, yeah, we'll go down and to the right.
Okay, sure. Let's do it. So I'll reveal that hex. And we're going to move down there. All right, so it is the evening by the time you get down here, and you are on the seaside now. You can see to your west, to the west, there is the prairies continuing out, and to the east, all around you is the sea, and the smell of the sea breeze is everywhere. Maybe not so much the smell of fish at the moment, at least, unless you get into your rations. Then you may taste some of those.
That's 2 hexes, right? So that then the sun starts going down, right?
Yeah, it's evening. Yeah, the sun's setting over the horizon. It's a long day because you're out on the prairie, so there's no mountains or any other obstructions. But you make it all the way down here, and you can set up camp if anybody wants to sort of do the guarding, or maybe the quartermaster. The quartermaster could make a roll here to see how the food situation goes.
Maybe I ought to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a bear to feed, and after all.
Yeah, so I'm going to say you're probably rolling to start with at a -2 because that bears with you.
Now, what does the prep? Can I use the prep to produce food?
Yes, you can. So you can do that after you make your
after I roll.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. So it's going to be like before, +3.
No, it would be +1 because you have -2 from the bear being with you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
-1.
But that prep roll, we might want to save that for later, because we can kind of make it do a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we have the food right now, so.
Right. Or we could even just hunt right now to see if we can get something.
Yeah.
Sure.
You want to do that instead?
We can, if you want to go hunting, you can do that. It's evening, so it will be a little bit difficult, but I mean, you have a lot of experienced hunters, so.
I can give us a note of a challenge.
Yeah. All right.
Kyle,
Okay.
I don't recall, but how does help work if we worked as a group, or if we lent a can we lend traits?
So in this game, I don't think there's a helping mechanic, unless it's I guess you just basically treat it as a lending of a trait. Yeah, pretty much. As far as I remember, there's no specific help mechanic. So what I feel what this would be like is if somebody goes hunting, right? They can go hunt, and then depending on the results, it'll act like a link test that'll give you a bonus to your quartermaster roll.
I see.
Yeah. So does someone want to go hunting?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. So I'm going to say you're going to be starting here at a -1 because it's the evening.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you have to help you out with your hunt?
Well, I can see smells.
Okay, yeah, I think that could help. Yeah, for sure.
So I can totally track stuff in the dark. It's quite terrifying.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, that's cool. So you see slipstreams of color and texture that we can't see.
Yeah, totally. The surroundings kind of fill in these blocks of color and stuff, and you can kind of track I feel like rabbits or whatever, or this orangey vibrant color. It's very sort of vibrant neon kind of colors and stuff. It's very trippy.
Nice. And you're just tripping out all the time.
Yeah. And I don't know, can I say tracking is also really?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good. So you'd be rolling at +1.
Yeah. I think so.
Do we each do one roll, or just one roll for
It's just her. She's going to be leading the hunt today. So it's.
Oh my god! I should need to stop doing things. I'm really feeling this hangover really badly.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So you roll a 6. So I think you're probably going to get into an encounter here because.
Oh
no. I was gonna let you hunt something, but yeah, we'll see what it turns up.
The tables have turned.
The tables have literally turned. So
sometimes you hunt the bear, sometimes the bear hunts you.
Yeah. So why don't you roll that D10 again?
Yeah, totally. I feel like I probably ended up following a smell that I am very unfamiliar with, and I'm like, yes, this is the like umber color of boar, and it's like the maroon color
Of something quite
something
different.
dangerous. Yeah. I got a 10.
Okay. Well, let's see how that goes.
Why do I have a bad feeling he didn't want to roll high?
Yeah. So, are you hunting on horseback or are you hunting on foot?
Oh, good question. I guess the terrain looks like it's seaside, right? So
Yeah, it's like basically like plains abutting the sea.
yeah, so she probably did take her horse. I feel like there's a lot of like
Okay.
space to run around in.
Yeah, so I think that you're in the middle of hunting, and all of a sudden you hear a rather irritated hiss, and your horse starts, rears up, and you come back down. You see at your feet that there is a very angry snake that was sleeping and that you have stepped on.
Oh no.
And it is it's not looking super great, and it's about to attack your horse. What do you do?
Oh my gosh, not Frida.
Frida!
Is she by herself, or is this a hunting party?
What do you feel you would have done here?
Well, I'm with her.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the two of you. Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
Me?
Either one of you can act here.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think the snake is not so close to me, but I back up. I get my horse away from the snake.
Fair. Good plan. I like it. And what's Rosa doing?
I think Rosa is probably, I'm real bad at horse language. Like, I think her first instinct is to sort of get Frida safe, because like horses are super important to us Scots, and also it's a real long journey. So like I've got to have Frida.
Okay, so I'm gonna basically get you to like roll to keep your cool here.
Nice.
So anything, I think you get a +1 because you're a Got, so you're really good at riding. But other than that, is there anything that you think would really factor in here?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, so you'll be rolling +1. And then I think disadvantages, I mean, you already stepped on the snake, so it's right there. So maybe just roll straight 2d6 and we'll see how it turns out.
Cool. I got an 11.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you just like what does this look like? Like, do you just like get your horse to like jump away, or
yeah, totally. I think like you see Rosa pull off some like neat horse maneuvers to sort of like get Frida to sort of focus and like jump over the snake to create some distance. And
yeah, so this is like some advanced level equestrian stuff you're doing here.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So yeah, so your horse like leaps away and like, you know, you come about so you can face where Hagen is. So the two of you are looking at each other, and you both just sort of like take off from the snake, and the snake is left sitting there being angry and upset about having its sleep disturbed.
But you can eat snake.
you maybe I don't know if you can eat this snake, but I do think that you managed to you do manage to find some game. So why don't you roll? I think it will be 2. Let's see. Hang on. Let me look at this table. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Yeah. So that would be 2d8. Can you roll 2d8?
Awesome. 10.
Okay. So we'll say 2, 3. Okay. So you actually are like returning back to the camp, and you're passing by the coastline when you happen to see with your smell vision that there is a family of otters nearby.
Oh no, but they're so cute.
It does say under common game animals in Middarmark, otter is one of them. So I don't know. It's up to you if you want to hunt otters, but you know the opportunity presents itself.
Well,
You've got somebody with a really good shot with a bow, so that you know.
I think I'm the only one with a bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, on the one hand, they're cute, but on the other hand, it's not fish.
Yes. You'll be eating meat tonight. All right, so I don't think you really need to roll for this because we already dealt with the hunting roll. So I think you successfully managed to grab one of those otters with your expert shot, and come back with a big fat otter on the back of your horse to the camp. So for the quartermaster's roll here, Govgo, you can take a +1 on that. So you'd be up to I think
0 now.
No, because you had +3 and then -2, so it'd be up to +2 now.
+2.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and roll that.
Yep.
12.
Okay, great. So I think that you basically nobody has to consume any rations. You managed to somehow make do on your hunt. The bear is very appreciative of some otter meat. So you're all doing pretty well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes. Okay. So that is day 1 of our travel. I think that since we had that whole episode of the hunt, I'm not going to make you do a guard roll for the evening. We'll just get on to the next day maybe here.
And we have a well-fed bear to top it off.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe the bear's helping keep patrol here around the camp. All right, so let's keep going. Which hex do you want to move into, Navigator?
Down to the left.
Down to the left. Okay, so it's let's check out what the weather is like today. So 14. Interesting. Oh, lucky. Same weather. The weather holds. Very good. Yeah, so you can take a +1 to your navigation again. And then I guess that puts you at a +3, was it?
Yep.
So go for it. 7. Okay, again, that's the mixed result. So I think what probably happens here is that's a tough one because you're right along the coastline, so it should be pretty easy to navigate. So I think probably I think what ends up happening is that oh, okay, this could be it. So you're traveling down to the southwest, as you said, trying to like follow the coastline, and unfortunately, your bear friend happens to notice that there is another bear in the vicinity who is in heat, and happens and sort of says like later, y'all, and heads off into
Oh
the
no.
distance. So as the navigator, you could either try to follow the bear, or you can continue along the coastline to the southwest. Which of these do you think you'd do?
No, I'll let the bear go to do what he wants to do, and we'll continue on our way.
All right. Okay. So all right. So the bear is a happy bear, and you can head on down here into this hex. So I'll just reveal that.
He did his part. We did our part. He did his part.
He did do his part, and well, you know what? He didn't eat a bunch of your food, so that's really what
or us.
What you're looking for.
And he didn't attack us. That's the most important thing, right there.
That is indeed the most important thing. Okay, here we are. Reveal it up. Okay, this is the one. Yeah. All right, so let's go. The next hex. Quite much the same. You're still on the grasslands. And which one would you like? Where would you like to go next? Which direction?
The same direction.
Okay, you go same direction. All right. So rather than making you roll to navigate, I'm going to get
actually. Sorry. What's our ultimate goal? As I scroll down this map,
way down here, you can see the Saki Downs. It's kind of obscured a little bit, but there's that like brown hex with like the ruins on it.
Yeah.
That is your destination.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so maybe what is this? Urncloster?
You want to head towards Urncloster?
Well, I'm thinking we may not be very welcome there, so
yes, you're absolutely right about that.
So actually, yeah, let me yeah, we'll go more east. We'll go southeast.
Okay, cool. So Rosa, why don't you scout this area and see what you get into?
Okay. I've got a good feeling about this.
So again, it's a clear day. You're +1 there. So what are you rolling at? +2, was it? +3?
I think it was +3 because.
Okay, so yeah, we'll say +3. Yeah.
I think it was 3.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think you had tracking and then one other thing too. Yeah. Oh, your smell. Yes. Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's go. Let's see.
Yay! Nice. I got a 12.
All right. Okay. Cool.
I'm feeling bad. I'm not hungover anymore.
So what actually happens is you go out ahead, ranging, you scout, and you learn something very useful. You learn that you have come to a river to the south. So I'm not going to put you there yet, but I will reveal this hex. So you actually have arrived at a river delta.
Oh man, it's like the fish are playing jokes on me or something.
It's opening out onto the sea, and certainly. Hagen, you would know this place because this is the border between Gauntlet and the province to the south, the land of the Bjornings, Vargstrand. The Vimar River, yes, that's where you are. So at this point, you can choose which hex you will enter. You can either go down to the bottom left, or you can try to cross the delta, but it is going to be a little bit tough to get across. So what are you feeling?
Could I attempt to help him?
Yeah, what do you want to help with?
I want to speak to the local salmon here to find the best crossing place.
You want to find a ford by talking to the salmon?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, to help him with what he's doing there. He's trying to cross. He's going to roll for us to cross, right?
No, he's just deciding which hex to enter. So you can either choose to cross the delta, or you can choose to enter the southwest hex and try to find a better ford there.
Oh, in that case, I'll wait for you to make your decision.
Okay. Yeah. You're muted, Rich. You're muted.
Yeah, take off your mute.
Yeah.
Shouldn't I know where the best ford is if I'm familiar with that border, right?
Yeah, like I think you would definitely know that there is a better ford to the southwest. Yes.
Okay, then let's go southwest.
Okay, good stuff. So let's reveal that. Sorry, because they're polygons, I have to do this all by hand.
Yep, it's a lot of tedious work there in that roll 20.
Yeah.
We're not seeing this, but Kyle is messing with 3 different layers.
Yeah. So there you go. So you're now at the river. And I think that actually there is a bit of a narrows here. And you do know the land very well, so you would know where a good fort is, but it's already getting late, so you're probably going to want to maybe camp at the riverside
Okay.
rather than try to ford tonight.
Okay.
You also know that the Bjornings do patrol this land, especially the warriors of Jørnkloster. They have been hired to protect this border from you, from the gods. Actually, I guess there's 2 things that would occur to you. One, it's going to be easier to ford the river during the day, but B, 2, it would be easier to avoid patrols if you try to ford it at night. So those are that's the kind of the trade-off here.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk those salmon either way, guys.
Okay.
I'm thinking we camp on our side of the river, and then we get up before dawn and cross the ford before the sun comes up.
I like it. I like it.
We probably don't want to have a fire either, because that would be safe.
Yeah, we cold camp.
Okay, I like it. All right, so you're going to be eating cold rations tonight.
Sushi.
Quartermaster, are you going to try to talk some salmon into leaping into your basket, or what's the deal here? What are you trying to talk to the salmon about?
It's more crafty than you think. I'm going to convince the salmon to herd other fish that they feed on to rush ashore, and in doing so, we're going to give them the best portion of it, and we'll have enough for ourselves.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to get you to maybe roll a die of fate here to see if you can find some salmon. So just roll a d6.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 6. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you managed to find some salmon at the riverside. It's spring right now, so it means that they're probably quite young.
Right.
But they do say hello to you, and you are able to enter into a conversation with them about this sort of herding practice. So
sure. So I'm tapping my gnarled staff into the water, making ripples, and a few salmon heads maybe appear, like popping up close to the surface.
Yes. And you can sort of like read their lips in a way, right?
Yeah, so I'm puckering my lips without teeth, but I'm actually not without teeth. I'm just doing that because
and I think the thing is, they're salmon, so they're not very smart. So this is a very sort of like extended conversation you have to have with them. But you do get let's see if you can get the idea across of this kind of maneuver. So I think you're obviously going to. So what do you think works to your advantage here?
My figure.
Yes. Okay. Totally. Absolutely.
Smells like salmon when calm. I'm pretty calm.
Yeah, I think that works.
And I was a fishmonger and impressed Adelaide with a splendid enchanted feast.
Okay, so yeah, I think it's a +3. So I'm going to say you're going to be at +2 because these salmon are pretty dumb. So they may have some trouble understanding instructions. So sure. Let's see how this goes.
7, scraped by.
Okay, so 7. Okay, so I think that in that case, it probably is a thing where the salmon are both young and excitable, it's getting dark. They may want to be getting ready for bed, so to speak, and also they have a hard time understanding instructions. So you manage to get some fish, but it's not a great catch that you come away with. So each person in the group should consume 1 ration here, I think.
Right.
Okay. And maybe let's see here. Maybe Ulf, you could either, I think, stand guard tonight, or you could maybe try to use your music to give everybody's spirits a boost. What do you think?
What would you folks prefer?
I think we don't want to. We probably shouldn't be playing music that it might carry over the river.
That's probably a good point. Yeah, it could be heard on the other side of the river. So,
I mean, if you want to tell us some poems or something, that would work.
I'll quietly guard, but maybe mutter some stories of heroic journeys that I've heard.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think probably Adelace is standing guard with you and listening to your stories with rapt attention. So why don't you go ahead and roll to guard for the evening? So this is. So do you have anything you think would help you keep watch?
I wouldn't think that ox would be of any.
Yeah, probably not, right? Yeah. So okay, so I think you're gonna have maybe a +2 because Adelace is standing guard with you.
So yeah. 2d6 plus 2?
Yeah. Okay, that is a 9. All right, so that's a mixed result. So I think what probably happens is you're standing guard and you manage to get everybody to keep a low profile. Like you're out there until dawn. And at dawn, when you're thinking to get ready to ford the river, you see a patrol of Bjornings that are coming down the riverside on the opposite bank. And so you're able to get everybody to scramble away from the riverbank and hide themselves. And you manage to avoid the patrol, but you also are going to have to probably cross the river at daytime instead of in the dawn. Yeah. So mixed result.
Right. We'll wait for the patrol to leave the vicinity.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. So navigator, which way do you want to go here?
Southeast.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to say that today, because you're fording the river, and because you're going to have to proceed with some caution, I think that you're only going to be moving 1 hex today, not 2. So let's see how this goes. So the scout.
What's the weather like today?
Oh, right, the weather. Thank you. That is a very good point. Let's see. Oh, I think you lucked out again. Yeah, it's still clear and cool. This is incredible. You've got like
nice
all numbers in
rolls.
this very tight band. All right, so yeah, the weather's no problem. So the scout, Rosa, I suppose that once everybody has forded, you can go ahead and start scouting the bank. Are you going to go on horseback or are you going to go on foot?
On the bank.
Yeah, opposite bank. You're in the south bank of the what's it called again? The Vemur.
Ooh. Probably. Is it quite a? I'm imagining quite a steep bank, like a kind of a muddy. Fair.
Yeah, I think that this is I think that this is it's spring, right? So the water is quite high, and so yeah, like it is it's like the river is above its normal banks, right? So there's a lot of sort of just like grass and like bushes and stuff that have been taken or have been consumed by the river, and so there's no like solid bank to traverse. Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, she's probably gonna go on foot. I guess
Okay.
I'm also assuming like foot's probably a good idea if this is like foreign territory and there might be people out who are.
Yeah, I mean it's probably easier to be stealthy and harder to get away, right? As your trade off there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, and I actually totally forgot about stances in this game. Is a thing you can do. I'll just mention it to you. So you can basically either be aggressive, normal, or cautious, and that applies both to combat and to things you do. And so what that means is that if you're aggressive, you get better high range outcomes and worse low range outcomes. And if you're cautious, you get like less bad high range outcomes and low range outcomes, right? Like,
why are you telling me these things?
Because it's important to your disposition here, right? What are you going to do? Are you going to be aggressive? Are you going to be normal? Are you going to be cautious? What are you going to do?
Be aggressive.
Well, it sounds to me like maybe this is normal because you did decide to dismount, right? So that at least that is going in your favor.
Yeah, I'll do it normally.
Okay, so let's yeah, I don't think you need to roll to ford the river necessarily, because you did find that good ford. So let's just talk about the scout roll here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and roll. What do you think is your situation here? I think maybe it's sounds like a +3 to me because you're on foot, right? And you are going slower. So yeah. Let's see how this goes.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, nice. I got a 15.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh. So you are able to basically understand the frequency of Bjorning patrols and move between them by doing your scouting, right? Yeah, so
it's totally like it's like sort of the vapor trails of their scent, right? Like that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
The gradient fades out, fades back in.
I think like isn't there something like that in like Horizon Zero Dawn? Anyway, pretty cool. Yeah. So you understand how to move between the patrols. You can go back and get your horses and start moving down into the grasslands south of the Vemur into Vargstrand province. Navigator, which direction do you want to go here?
Let's see. Oh, by the way, there's probably more trees around the river, right?
Yeah, there's probably like some light tree cover, some deciduous trees.
So yeah, when there's trees, then Hagen sleeps in the trees.
Okay. All right. Good. Nice.
Just throwing that out there. That's a
you can maybe find a good oak or something to sleep in. Yeah.
Yeah, he finds a way. All right. So yeah, we're gonna continue southeast.
Okay. So yeah, let's get that taken care of here. Yep. Okay. So you make your way to this hex by evening. And I assume, again, you're probably camping without a fire. in enemy territory, so to speak. You're
Yeah.
quite close to Urncloster, so this is a rather dangerous area. So why doesn't Quartermaster gonna go ahead and roll for us again here?
Yeah, is this
This is
+3 or? Yeah, let's talk about the situation.
Let's talk about this a little bit. Yeah. So, what do you think it would be to your advantage in this?
What's the? Hold on, let me check the map to make sure, like environment wise. Yeah, we're down out. Could
So
try.
I would say, like, if you want to get that +3 for maybe like the salmon thing, then you might want to you might have to take an aggressive stance, because you'd have to circle back to the river to try to get some salmon, and be a little bit of a hike.
I don't want to do that, but I think I could. I think what I could do is, since I've got the thing with the bears, I could follow bear prints that lead to game.
Okay.
That are on our way.
Okay, why don't you roll a die of fate on that? See if there are any in the area. Roll a d6.
All right. 3.
Okay, yeah, I don't think there's any bears in this area, because you're pretty far from any hills or mountains. So yeah, they're probably further up the river.
I think this time I'm just going to rely on what I've got here.
Okay.
Not on the animals. So patience is definitely something that hunting would help with. Like, well, not a hunter, but like hunting gathering, more like gathering like things, like, you know, picking up mushrooms.
Okay, so you want to go out
and
try to gather some berries from the bushes at the riverside or something like that.
Right. And I don't know if this would help, but I have Wandering Magician. Maybe I can use my, you know, I've wandered along a lot of wilderness tracks.
Okay. So yeah, I'm kind of feeling like a +2 here.
Okay, let's do it. What's going on tonight?
Okay, good roll. All right, so yeah, so I think you find like some really good like raspberries, and like you managed to find like I don't know, what would you, I don't think there's any nuts you could get in spring, but yeah, just a lot of raspberries and blueberries maybe down by the riverside. Yeah,
sure.
So you bring those back in like a basket, and everybody's able to chow down without spending any rations. So
good thing the bear left us. Otherwise, we might have a bit of a
yeah, totally. Oh, you know what it is? Yeah, like yeah, it's probably like you find some raspberries, and you manage to find like a honeycomb you could use. Yeah.
So what I did was that actually I could have used the bear thing if I was being really clever with the fiction, to do the exact opposite. Go where I know bears aren't, and then use the bear tags. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Yes. Well, it's a 13 now, so you'll have to live with it.
Yeah, I think I can sleep on that one.
Okay, so yeah, so nobody has to spend any rations for the evening, and does somebody want to stand guard for the night, because you are in this rather tense territory here?
I will do that.
Okay. Are you going to try to persuade Adelaide to stay up with you again? I think she's feeling pretty tired. You know, having stayed up last night as well, listening to your story. So maybe you need to persuade her a little bit to get her to help you out with the guard work.
Well, it's nice to have company, so I will work on asking her to do that.
All right. So I think she's, you know, got her hands. They're all covered in berry juice, reds and purples from the blueberries and raspberries, and wipes her mouth, and she says, Scald, I'm tired. I've been up last night. We forded the river, and now I've had all this excellent fruit, and I just want to lie down and sleep. Can't you stand guard yourself tonight?
But it would be so much more fun to have someone to chat with, and your lovely self would be would be great, and we can work on the story of this heroic journey so far.
Okay, well, yeah, if you're gonna try to appeal to her vanity, then maybe that's gonna be the good strategy to go with. So you think you have anything else that would help you out here?
Not really, unless strumming on my lute would help.
Oh, you're still in those dangerous conditions. So I'll
Oh,
say,
yeah.
why don't you roll a 2d, or sorry, you can roll with advantage here. So roll 3d6, take the two highest.
Yeah, when he touches his instrument, he gets, if you strum that again, and we're gonna burn that.
Yeah.
Oh no. So I'll roll 3d6.
Yep.
A 5 and a 4.
Okay, so that is a 9. So that's a mixed result. So I think what happens is, again, you're aware of the Bjorning patrols traveling through this area, but what happens is you have to move in the middle of the night, so none of you get any decent sleep. So you're all tired the next day. And I think in the middle of the night, though, like maybe when you're getting up to go, I kind of want to ask about here about Hagen. Do you have any like memories of like ranging this land along the Vemur?
Of course, I've got lots of memories about ranging this land.
So what's a good story you got from when you used to come down here to do your work?
Well, when we'd see patrols from across the river, we would never shoot any arrows to harm them or anything, but we'd sometimes shoot an arrow near them and then taunt them. And
very good.
Kind of goad them into confrontations and just laugh about it. And it was usually where there was no ford, so nothing was going to happen. And of course, a couple of times they had better bows than us, and we had to ride out of there really quick because they could outrange us with their bows. But often they were ill-equipped and didn't have anything good, so we just would mock them, and because we already defeated them.
That's right. Yeah. Great. Okay, so I like that. So you can take an experience point for doing this social scene here. Reflection. So mark down an XP for that. Okay. So so the next day you're all tired. It's not the best. But which direction? Oh wait, the weather.
Give us that sweet, clear day again.
Well, it's raining. It's raining today. It's not, it's spring rain, so it's a little bit cold. It's not super pleasant like a nice summer day's rain. So you're all tired. You're on the move. It's raining. You can't even move your horses that fast because like you're in the rain, so you don't want to get just all this rain's coming down in sheets on you. So not fantastic. But what direction do you want to go here, Navigator?
It does give us some cover from patrols.
That is true. Yeah, I think it will definitely help with your maybe with your guarding. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I want to take us directly east.
Okay. All right. So it's
Get a
so
little
I think
space away from Jungkloster.
yeah. So I think the thing is you're away from the river now, so you don't really have the benefit of that to get your bearings, and it's hard to navigate because you can't really see the sun. It's all cloudy, and you're just out on this prairie. So I'm going to get you to roll to navigate here. So I think to start out with, you're probably at probably at I think like a -2 because you're out on the prairie. This is foreign territory, and it's raining. So, what do you think you have that could help you to get some bonuses?
Nomadic hunter and boundary warden.
Okay, and do you want to?
Perhaps clever from Magpie.
Okay, is there something where your cleverness would factor in? Some trick or something that you could use? You want to spend some of that prep to have an instrument or something that you could use in this situation?
I think just something about the way the trees grow, or
okay,
the face of certain, the leaves face a certain direction, or
right. Okay, that's
moss on the rocks or something like that.
Yeah, it's probably a matter of like moss on these like sort of like erratic rocks that have been like left over by glaciers that have moved through the area. These just sticking out of the prairie. So why don't you roll at that would be a +1 to navigate.
Okay.
Oh, a 5. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Because of some navigational issues, I think you misread those rocks because you've ended up down here to the southwest, 1 hex closer to Jernklaster. So that's not going to be fantastic. Still on the prairie, but you can see, I will tell you this, I think you can see out to the west, there is a forest out there. You can see it way off in the distance. You can see some woods.
Okay.
I'm beginning to feel like salmon getting caught in a net.
Yeah. All right. So you've moved your 1 hex. Do you want to push it and try to get?
I think we're gonna push for the forest.
Okay. So I'm feeling like this is maybe a little bit of an aggressive stance that you're taking here, and you're gonna be rolling to navigate again. I think same arrangement basically.
Okay, but I'll take plus.
I will say one thing though. You're probably at a +2 because no wait, you were at +2 last time, right?
That's
+1. So yeah, I think +2 this time because you can see the forest out there, so it should be pretty easy to navigate. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. Well, I'm going to ask the scout to roll here because maybe you can save this situation, but otherwise you guys are going to be in trouble. So scout, I will say you probably aren't at a disadvantage because of the rain. Because you can use it as much to hide yourself as you can as it causes troubles for you in terms of finding and I will say though that your sense of smell is not really going to be effective here because it's raining out.
Yeah.
So all that sense is going to be washed away. So I'm feeling like you're probably at what +2.
Yeah, I think so. If you take away the smell.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see how the scout does here.
When it rains, everything it's very washed out. Like a dripping like water paint. What do you call it? Watercolor painting.
Yeah. There's just like all these scents just sort of flowing together along the ground.
Makes you very depressed, actually.
Oh no. Okay, well,
I got a 10 though.
Yes. So I think that you're able to save the party from disaster because you actually go out ahead of the group and you find you come around like a bluff and you see in the distance the sort of hulking mass of Jernklaster. and you realize that your party was headed directly for the fortress. So you are able to avoid that, and you stay in the same hex for the evening. Just have to sort of double back. I will say, actually, if you want to move into the forest overnight, you can do that, but you'll be even more tired. Yeah, and I forgot to mention that in the rolls we made just now. So, yeah, you can push yourselves and go into the forest overnight.
How's Ulf feeling?
Yeah,
Ulf is
you've been up a couple nights now.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling there, Ulf?
He's probably very tired, and but he's a skald. He's used to doing all-nighters and performing. But I have an idea. What if we went to the forest and then took a day of rest?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
All right. Okay, I like that.
We could send the hunters out while we slept.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So all sounding pretty good to me. So I think you can easily get into the forest. More interested here in the guard duty, how that's going to turn out for you. Just going to reveal that hex.
Maybe I'll be better at guarding than I am at navigating.
Right. Well, you haven't done too bad. Just that one potential catastrophe, you could have walked right into the enemy's hands. Yeah. So you are in the forest, and maybe if one of you is out on guard duty, you do notice that actually this forest is cut through with a highway. So you can stay away from the highway, but yeah. Who wants to guard tonight?
I will.
Well, yeah, I probably 3 days in a row is probably not a good idea.
Okay, so what do you think you have going in your favor here? I will say you are very tired, so that's going to be probably a -2. What can you do aside from that?
Boundary Warden.
Okay, yeah.
Is the rain helping him, perhaps?
Yeah.
Maybe it's masking our scent.
Masking your smell, I could see that. So that would put you at a -1, and then you'd get you'd be up to 0 because of Boundary Warden.
And let's see. I mean, I'd get up in a tree with that.
I think that'd be kind of part of your guarding activities, right? So
I don't know if that'd give me a benefit or not, but it'd be a thing anyway.
Well, why don't you roll with that +0, 2d6, straight 2d6 to guard.
Okay. Just straight 2d6, right?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, a 7. All right. So you're already in the woods. You're up in your tree. And I think this is a situation where you get the drop on what's coming, but definitely something's going to come. So why don't you roll a d10 and we'll see what the encounter is.
Okay. Eight.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I think what actually happens is you get up in your tree and you take a look around, and you see that there is a what looks like at first glance is pretty clear to you that they are Bjornings, not very far away from you. You can see them kind of just like off in the distance. You can see their campfire, right? It's very smoky fire because it's raining out. And you take a closer look and you see that it's not a military patrol. It is a group of merchants who are traveling the highway and have stopped in the forest to rest. Maybe they're headed towards Urnklaster. So what do you do?
I think they just have a camp there, right?
Yeah, they got a camp. There's like they've got like some carts that they've dragged out into the woods with them. There's a few guards and a few merchants there.
So they're just traveling on the road, right?
Yeah.
So I think since we know they're there, we can just avoid them.
Mm-hmm.
We can easily avoid them.
Yep. Okay. So why don't you roll a die of fate here, just to see if they kind of happen to stumble into your group. Where campsites are near each other, so
maybe instead of trying to rest for a whole day, maybe we do like a half day. Half day of travel and 1 day of rest or something. There's a 6.
Okay, so I think that they just kind of stick to their camp. There's no like drunken wandering off into the woods and they accidentally take a piss in your camp or something like that. They just pretty much stick to it. They're kind of miserable. They've been traveling on the highway like for a long time and they just want to get to Urnklaster. So it's a very quiet camp for the evening. And they get back onto the road and they're on their way. And so maybe you get a half day's rest. And so you're just tired now. You're not very tired. So you can just mark down that status in your notes, like I'm tired, because I think we're gonna probably wrap it up for today here, just so we have some time to debrief.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, so let's do the end of session XP stuff. So gaining levels, page 51, if you want to take a look. So at the end of a session, your character gains XP as follows. If you killed a meaningful enemy, you get +1 XP for everybody. So I don't think that is on the table here. If you made a meaningful discovery, it's +1 XP to all PCs. So what do you feel like? Did you make a meaningful discovery on your trip here?
Not really.
Does the map itself count? Or not really?
I mean, my only feeling here is like maybe finding Urnklaster was a meaningful discovery. That because you can at least move around it now instead of blundering into it.
Okay.
So I'd say you get an XP for that. Approached a goal or a cause, +1 XP to each PC who did. So review your goals, what they are, and see if you hit those.
Well, I joined my cousin in her quest.
That's true. Yeah, it's an XP. And Rosa, your goal is to protect Adelaide. I think you did that by steering the group away from Urnklaster. So
yeah, true.
I think that's a pretty good one. Ulf, your goal is to find the truth. Do you think you did that? You're muted there, Gary.
I think that'd be stretching it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe we need to get your character into a little bit more social interactions here. It certainly would have been interesting if you did blunder into Urnklaster, because then you could have, as a skald, you could have tried to like invoke rites of hospitality and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I need a more social group to interact with.
Yes, I agree. We'll see what we can do about that. And Gavgu, I think you probably work towards your goal. See Adelaide receive her mark of right to rule
by being present to begin with.
Yeah, you helped out with the travel, right? So
yes.
Okay. Let's keep looking at these XP questions. I think it was now Hagen, you already got that XP from your downtime scene. Acquired meaningful loot. I don't think so. I don't think we hit that.
We got plenty of provisions, but that's just
blueberries aren't meaningful. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like, I'm on the fence about it. I might say 1 XP. 1 XP. Yeah, 1 XP to everybody, I think, is fair. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And completed a quest mission or major objective. I think you all get 1 XP for crossing the river, the Vimer. You crossed into Vargstrand. So I think that is a major objective. And shared a meaningful social scene. So I think we kind of missed that, and I wonder if this is an opportunity to do that right now. Actually, if this is a half day of rest, so maybe we get a little bit of a social scene here.
I have to throw in. I did have a meaningful social scene with a bear.
I agree. You did. However, I think we could have a group scene, maybe.
Yeah.
So you're in the forest. It's actually, I need to check the weather for the day. What it's like. Hopefully not thunder snow. It is blustery wind. It's not the most restful day, but you're in the forest, so it could be a lot worse, right? The trees are sheltering you from a lot of that wind, but it's definitely a windy day. So what do you think this looks like for the group? What does resting look like for everybody?
I kind of want to fly a kite if it's really windy.
A kite? Are you gonna spend prep to have a kite?
I don't know. I feel like this is a bad idea, especially if I feel like a kite will draw attention to us.
Maybe. I don't know. It might be kind of the purpose of having a kite.
You're in a forest. You had plenty of time when we were out on the plains, but now you're in a forest.
Yeah.
Well, and right next to the road where it might be noticed. So.
Yes.
I don't think kites are a thing. Could even kites be a thing? Do they have? I guess they have paper, but we'd need paper, right? I guess they'd have some kind of parchment kite. Perhaps.
I think you could make a kite out of like vellum or something. Yeah, I don't know. Some kind of leather skin. I don't know.
I just looked it up. Kites origins are 5th century.
Yeah, I figured it's pretty old. So
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but maybe a kite scene lurks in our future. But what about the rest of us? What does your playfulness look like there, Rosa, in the forest?
I feel like she's probably tailing Ari's character Gavgu or something, like this to sort of like not hunt animals, but like sort of just attract down animals and like kind of and find some stuff and go foraging. I feel like Gavgu like knows a lot about stuff. Maybe she'll rope in Hagen as well, because Hagen knows this area. I think she's just like so into this like space right now.
So you're like trying to go for a walk?
Yeah.
What about Ulf? How do you feel about this? You gonna join them in this little walk here, or?
I think I'd rather sit down with Adelaide and strum my lute and
yes,
with some heroic songs of epic journeys.
Okay, I think she's very appreciative of this.
But yeah. I'm going. but because he keeps flirting with my cousin, I have to mock him a little bit. So when I can do impressions too, and so I'll join in some songs, but I might change the words and kind of trying to spoil his flirting and I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh, but you know, it's kind of a testosterone driven you know.
Yeah, a little bit of teasing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, unfortunately, there's no interfere roles in this game, so you can't really see what that looks like. But what's your reaction to this, Ulf? Do you just take it in stride, or?
Yes, I think I would just let it slide on this occasion. Just, you know, try to keep an eye on him for something that I could make up a little tune about a foible of his. But I have to.
Yeah.
I have to put some thought to it.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just going to be.
He's too steady. He's too steady.
I'm an ox.
Yeah.
Your process is very slow and deliberate. Like, oh, I'm gonna come up with a great.
He's unperturbed by my mocking, and eventually I give up and leave him to it.
I just make a note for future reference.
Excellent limerick has to be directed at Ed Hagen here. Okay, well, yes. So what about this little stroll in the woods? What do you think that looks like there, Ari?
Can I bring Essel along?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm riding Essel, and I say, Essel's taken a liking to you. But I suggest, since I suspect you have the gift of seeing smells, I suggest you don't walk behind Essel, but alongside.
Thank you for the warning. I love it. Essel's a sweetheart, I think.
Don't flatter him too much. He's gotten enough compliments from me.
Oh, really? How do you compliment a donkey?
You rub him right over here behind the ears. There you go. Essel likes that. Tell me about this talisman you're carrying. And this is probably a surprise to you if you've kept it hidden. You know, he's kind of a magician.
Yeah, she probably does keep it kind of hidden, but let's keep it like sort of safe rather than to hide it from people.
Right.
And she says, this thing, I think she like sort of, it's like probably on a thing around her neck. Like I think it's probably a patchwork of wolf pelt of like various different kinds of wolves. Not a paw or anything so like uncouth or violent as that, but just some pelts. And she says, this is my mother's. It's symbolic of the skills and talents that our family possesses, like being able to see things beyond this visual plane.
It's fascinating. Your family has many gifts indeed. You might consider spending some time with the elves. They know how to nurture those skills.
The elves, but they're so stuffy.
Well, just don't let them talking to you, dancing for half your life away. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. What are they? You've been with elves, right? What are they like?
They're interesting folk. Quite different from humans. They have their own ways, but quite gifted at magic. Look at this. And I take the horn out as like a return gesture. She shared something very personal with her, so I hand you the horn and let you take a look at it closely.
Oh my gosh! If you do that, she's gonna blow into it. I'm just saying.
Maybe not that close.
maybe she goes to blow it and you like pull it away. But
Oh no! Yeah, this is to be used judiciously.
Okay, what is it? What does it do? It's
We're at a time of need, and if there are elves about who recognize the signature sound, they just might show themselves.
Oh, it's like a wolf call, like a howl.
Yes, we have more in common than it seems.
Ah, interesting.
We
And-
better get back. Oh, what? You have something else to say? Fine.
No, it's fine. We can hit it back. I just
No, please say something because I'm just playing the character goofy like that.
well, I see you talked to that bear earlier.
Yes.
How did you learn to do that? How do you make your voice do that?
If you have the patience, you can talk to a great many things in this world.
Can you teach me?
Yes, I think you have the gift. I could teach you the ways of speaking to the beast. Why not?
Excellent. I'm gonna learn so many cool, like, fighting techniques from bears. I feel like bears must be good fighters. You probably learn a lot of really cool things from bears.
No, young lady. You're playing a she or he? I'm sorry. I should have
yes.
Yes. Say, no, young lady. Your training begins right here. And I pat Essel. Wake your way up to a carnivore after you've started off with this herbivore.
Okay.
I think that's a good place to end the scene. I'm just gonna say, don't let Hagen know about that horn because this magpie nature might take over. And
Yes.
have to grabs that thing.
That was a lot of fun.
Nice. Okay, so everybody can take an extra XP for doing a social scene. Yes. Cool. Okay, so just so that you are aware, it is at XP 5, you will reach level 2. So I think Govgu, you are at level 2. Hagen, you are at level 2. Rosa, have you been tracking your XP?
No, I'm playing her on a meta and meta level is very disorganized as well.
I think you got XP for all of those.
So it was
ones that I got.
2, and then your goal was there's 3, and then
I'm so sorry.
4.
I think I'm at
5. I think you're at 5.
Yeah.
Exactly 5. Yeah. Or no, 6. 6. Yeah, 6. And Ulf, how are you doing there?
4.
Okay, 4. Okay, so you'll level next time. Everybody else is leveled from this session. And when you hit your level, let me know so you can do it in the middle of the session there, Ulf, so we can get you powered up for next time. So what you get at a level is you get +1 speed. So your speed goes depending on what your armor is. So so your speed starts at 0. If you have light armor, it goes down to -1. So it would be up to 0 again. But just write your base speed, I guess. Write your base speed. So that would be 1. For those of you who leveled, your base speed is now 1. And you get an extra 4 HP. And you also get a new tag that encapsulates the previous level's activity. So you get a new tag for yourself and a new technique. So I think given our time right now, I'm going to leave it up to you to give some thought to that as to what your tag and technique is going to be. Gary, you can probably also do the same thing. Think about it a little bit because you'll be leveling pretty soon as we get going next time. And yeah, so I think that handles the end of session stuff for this this game. Yeah, so tag suggestions. I think
That's pretty good, actually.
Strong drinker or something like that. I don't think you're still hungover, but maybe it's something about drinking. I could definitely see What would be an additional thing? Because I feel like, Rich, you played to your tags a lot in this session. I'm interested to see what an additional thing might be beyond that. Maybe like taunting or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, this would be in addition to the ones we listed for the human tags, or sorry,
well, yeah, you see where it
lineage?
says level 2 under your traits? You're going to add an extra one there.
I got you. So
Yeah.
what do you think about venerable for a tag for me?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good. I like that.
So storytelling, sky gazing, herding were the first 3, and now this one, right?
Yep. But you also have your weakness of closed-minded. That's another one, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you can all sort of give that some thought, but I will try to wrap this up now. So I'm just going to ask about stars and wishes. This is a thing we usually do in the Gauntlet. So first is stars is something you liked about the game, the session, or something the players did, or what I did. Just give one, and then we'll move on. So maybe we'll start with you, Ari. There.
Oh, for first time running this game, I want to give you the star for handling all of the various pieces of it. You mashed in a hex crawl to a game that didn't have a hex crawl, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then you're using a module from a completely different system, Torchbearer.
Yeah, and then putting in Perilous Wilds as well as like the weather system from Torchbearer.
Right. And then handling technical difficulties with players.
Yes.
So you deserve a star for all of that amazing GMing and technical ability there.
Okay, thank you. Gary, do you have a star for this session?
I very much enjoyed the hex crawl.
Oh, great.
It's the first time I've ever encountered it, and it was very interesting and a lot of fun.
Okay, that's fantastic to hear because it's my first time running one, so I'm really glad that it was interesting and not just a bunch of random crap that didn't lead anywhere, because that could also be how it goes.
Yeah, that's the nature of the hex crawl.
Yeah. All right, Lauren, do you have a star?
Always. I'm going to do a couple of stars because I don't play by the rules.
Okay, be a maverick.
But no, yeah, I want to pair out the star to you, Cal, for running this under like the duress of technical difficulties, but also like the amazing amount of prep you went in to make this a very cohesive like game. And you ran it really well. It was very like an evocative setting, and I love Adelaise, and it was like a good. I like the tone where it's sort of like fantasy, adventure, levity, but then like I feel like it's going to get a lot darker.
Yes, depending on what happens, it could definitely go that way for sure.
Yeah. So
yes,
he said it. He said to you, and also to Ari. I want to shout out like your amazing character, like Gavgu, like that. You did a really good characterization of this old like magic person, and then also it was so fun playing off of you. And then real quick, Gary Richard, it was so fun, like great playing with you for the first time, and I loved like the dynamic going on with like the cousin and then like the flirty guy trying to like flirt with Adelaide. Like it was neat seeing like you guys play off of each other in that capacity. I love that a lot too. You guys are just a delight, and that's my constellation of stars. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if that flourishes into some kind of romance between Ulf and Adelaide. Okay, and Rich, do you have a star?
Yeah, I don't know that I could go with only one either.
Okay, well, please be
a lot of what Lauren said, like all your prep, a lot of work making this happen. It's great. I really have been wanting to play Vagabonds, and so I appreciate all that. Yeah, I thought Ari and Lauren did outstanding jobs with their characters, and I'm really enjoying what's going on with Gary's character. So I'm just really looking forward to continuing. So
Great.
I 1 star. That's I don't know. I can't, can't do that. Sorry.
It's a suggestion, not a rule.
Yeah. It's a 5. It's a however many pointed star. You each get a point from the star. And
yeah, we've got 5 people. Yeah. So stars. I think yes. Thanks to Rich and Gary for pushing through those technical difficulties and arriving, and actually getting into the game and playing. That's awesome. And thanks to Lauren for jumping into the game on the spot. So big ups for that. Oh, it looks like Gary's got some video.
All right, hey. Almost saw a face there for a moment.
Whoop.
Well, it looks like next time we're gonna get some video from you there.
Turn your camera back on, man.
It's working.
It just I don't know what I touched, but I'll get it fixed before next time.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. No.
At least we know it can work if I can find the right settings.
Yes.
I was just wandering my mouse around, and all of a sudden it flickered on. So
okay.
We'll find it.
Okay. Well. Yeah. I mean, I hope that you're able to get in with video next time. Likewise with you, Ari. Hope that the finish on the floor sort of blows out of there and everything.
Yeah. For anybody listening, the lights are off because there are no screens on the window. I have to keep the windows open because the floors are finished downstairs and the smell is horrendous. So yeah, it's just not a good situation.
Thank stars for pushing through that. I hope it doesn't have any bad health effects, but hey, I guess as your character gave up some of their life to spend times with the Aelfar, you've maybe given up some of your lifespan to join this game.
Yes, possibly.
Yeah. So stars to all of you for all those things. I think stars to the author of this game for pretty interesting system. I do like the negotiation. It's fun, and it seems to have worked fairly well for a hex crawl without getting too repetitive. I guess stars to Thor for this cool setting. It's been a big inspiration to me in a lot of different ways. So yeah, I'm glad to get to play in it finally. So what about wishes? This is something you would like to see in the next session, something you would like to see different for yourself or different for the game. Yeah. So why don't we start with Ari again?
Yeah. All right. 2 things. The first one, the stances.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see that following the fiction more used as following the fiction rather than just having a choice of the 3.
Okay. So you're saying more like you're in a bad situation, so you're.
There's a different mechanic for the fiction. That's advantage and disadvantage.
Yeah. Did we use that? We did on the wolves.
Yeah, we did use it once. Yes.
Oh.
Okay, so that's just me not understanding it properly.
But I mean, I would like to definitely see in the next session engaging with that more. If you want to be more risky or more cautious, it's up to you to just flag those things, and I'll change the circumstances accordingly.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and the other thing I would like. So how is downtime triggered? Do we just say we're resting? That's when the downtime comes.
Yeah,
up?
it's usually kind of like supposed to be like when you're in town, because this game isn't designed for a hex crawl, so we kind of have to think about that a little bit. Like, yeah, because it's interesting because when you've scouted. You've never really got a success on a scouting, so I've never had an opportunity to raise a what do you call those? Like a location, because like you could totally end up coming upon like a steading or something, and like go talk to the people there, or and like rest there, and that could be a downtime. Or if you find some feature on the map then that could be a chance for downtime. But if you're just camping for the night, having that big list of downtime options seems a little bit excessive. So I'm still a little bit on the fence about how to implement that in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
And the last thing, just I would like to have more social scenes in between. I feel like we did a bunch of things that were more just changing location and addressing different kinds of risks. But I would like more time with Richard or Gary's characters in the next session.
I agree with that completely. I think it was the session mostly just trying to get a feel for how the hex crawl works and try to get you at least a little ways south so you have a chance of making it to your destination by the end of the next session.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
But yes, absolutely. So Gary, how are you feeling, or what about some wishes?
Well, what I'd like to do is flesh out my character better. I didn't understand character creation at the beginning. It's first time with it.
Yep.
And I'd like to get him meshed together better. So there was something social to play rather than just sort of a mishmash of things that he is right now. I'd like to flesh him out better.
Yeah, so if you want to make some adjustments to the character, then absolutely feel free. And we'll definitely try to get some more scenes that allow you to play up your Skald character more. Yeah.
I was thinking we'd be spending more time in steadings, so a Skald might have more to do, right?
I honestly was thinking much the same thing. I was just a little surprised at how we didn't end up with any of those locations triggering. So I might sort of adjust the numbers a little bit so that there's a higher chance for us to come across interesting discoveries and places that you could have a social interaction.
Very good. Okay.
All right. Lauren, wishes?
I think anyone I can think of is I said just more character scenes or like sort of social scenes, that kind of thing. That'd be super fun. But anyways, more of the same, please. Although I don't know if I will probably not be here next week. So,
oh really? Oh no. Okay. Well,
I think I may have another game on.
Oh dear. Well, that's all right. We will.
Why don't we try to schedule something that we can all be present for?
Well, it's because it's on this Hangouts calendar. So, the thing is, there's people on. Are there any people on the wait list? I don't know if there are for the next session.
I just had a look, and there's not.
So if there isn't, then it is possible that we could reschedule.
I don't want to make anything complicated though. So
so let's chat about that in the Google Hangouts chat there, the G chat.
Yeah, I've got some flexibility there.
So do I. So we'll hopefully be able to work something out. So this is same time next week is the default, but we'll try to work out something that'll allow all of us to play.
Oh, cool! Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to change it up now. We got our group together. So.
I agree. Since we're actually kind of lucky, we don't have any people on the wait list. So, all right. And Rich, do you have any wishes? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my wish would be, if we don't finish on time, we just, keep going. We have another session. If we're having fun, there's no need to end it. And at least that's my viewpoint.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's all schedule permitting, but I would hope that I definitely hope we can make it to the Saki Downs and see what happens. To the whole group.
I have a lot of free time until September. I'm on holiday, so I go back to China at the end of August. So my time will be all upside down, basically. But until then, I'm good to go.
All right. So
yeah,
we'll. Okay.
I've,
Yeah.
I've got all kinds of time too. So until October. So
Sounds like we're in a pretty good spot then for scheduling. So yeah, we'll sort that out afterwards, but I think it looks promising. So yeah, and if you're watching this video, then you know, there may be a third episode of this series if that's what we need. So yeah. All right, and my wishes, I think echo a lot of what you're saying. Really, is I want to see more social scenes. I want to see more discoveries. I want to avoid just you know, hunting, moving, navigating, scouting exclusively. You know, in the Gauntlet games, everybody always wants more social scenes, and I totally understand that. But I'm glad we were able to get some social scenes in a hex crawl, which is, hey, that's a little unusual. So
Yeah, that's fine.
I want to see more. All right. So I'm going to end the broadcast here. Thanks for watching. Okay.
Yep.